How's it going, guys? Jake here, and today we're going to take a look at the Minecraft mod Tough as Nails. Now this will exponentially increase your difficulty of survival in your Minecraft world, so if you're up for a challenge, well then this mod is what you need to get. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to mention is the new GUIs that have popped up. Right above your hunger bar, you now have a thirst bar, and to the left of that, you have a body temperature circle. Now this will show you if your body's getting too hot or too cold, and so just pay attention to the videos, as it just did right there, that it will slowly heat up or cool down depending on the environment around me. And I'll get to more of that in just a second, but the first thing we're going to take a look at is the thirst. So there are a few things for the thirst. One is the canteen. To make an empty canteen, all you need is 6 pieces of leather as such, and then you'll get this empty canteen. Next thing you have is the rain collector. Now to make this, all you need is 5 cobblestone, an iron bar, and 2 iron ingots. So we can take this too. So if we go over here to this water and right click like we just would with a normal bottle, you'll see that fills up the canteen and has a little durability bar down there. Now if we go over it, it's a dirty water canteen, and that's the same with any type of water that you get anywhere if you put it in a bottle or anything. So what we need for that is a charcoal filter to make it clean water. So to make 3 of these, all you need is 2 paper and a charcoal. You cannot just use coal, it has to be charcoal. So if we make this, and then we take this, and if we put this in a crafting table, all we need is 1 charcoal filter. It will then make a filtered water canteen. Now the difference is, if you drink dirty water, you'll get 1.5 thirst bars back, but if you drink filtered, you'll get 3 bars back, and also, if you drink dirty water, you will get the thirsty effect, which kind of the same thing of hunger. It will make you more thirsty over time. Now, as you probably noticed right now, that small circle has got a tint of orange to it, and that's because I'm heating up. It's in the middle of the day, I'm out in the plains, so I'm slowly warming up my body temperature. But the next thing we're going to look at is the rain collector. Now, if you, let's say you don't have a lake nearby you, well, then you just place a bunch of these down in a big area, and after 2 rains, the entire thing will be filled up, and you can pull water from it 3 times. So it's a bit handy, if you're up in the mountains and you're, quite a ways away from any type or source of water that there is. So if we come back, we got just regular glass bottles, so I can show you what it looks like without, the canteen. Now you notice that it has like this slight greenish but still blue color to it. That's because it's a dirty water bottle. So we place this here, do another charcoal filter. You see that it turns much more clear blue, and it's a filtered water bottle. Now it's the same thing as canteen, just a canteen holds several more of these in it. Now the other thing about thirst are these little juices. Now there are a lot of these. These are just a few of beetroot, apple, carrot, and cactus, but unfortunately you can't make these. Hopefully in the next update they will add them, but for right now, it just shows you need a beetroot sugar, but it has an uncraftable potion, so it kind of shows that you can't make it. But I'm hoping that they'll add these in the future updates, but right now it just adds water that you got to go out and filter. Okay, so now since we're moving on to things to stay warm, I might as well talk about your body temperature. So if you have an up arrow too many times, it'll get a nice orange tint to it, and if you have a down arrow too many times, it will go blue. Now it'll increase in that color more and more the more it goes up or down, but if it reaches a certain point, you will then either have a flame symbol or a freezing symbol. Now with a flame symbol, that means you're close to hypothermia. If you're cold, that means you're close to hypothermia. So hypothermia is just when you're around lava too much, or you're running around and you haven't cooled yourself off, and they both do the same damage. They'll both affect your health the same amount, but one's just for warm biomes, the other one's for cold. Now, right before you get your first effect of hypo or hypothermia, it will start shaking the little circle. Now, once it does start shaking and start damaging you, then you'll slowly lose more and more health unless you cool yourself off or warm yourself up. So you do have a little bit of time before you start taking enough damage with hypothermia 2 or 3 to where it would kill you. So you just need to pay attention and try to reverse it as quickly as possible. So these are a few things to help reverse it either way. So if you're too cold, these are some things that'll help you stay warm. First thing is a set of wool armor. Now, not only will it give you some armor, as you can see, it's +2 armor on your body, but you'd make it the same way you'd make any other type of armor, except you use any colored wool you want. So you can go ahead and take this. Now, if we put this on, as you can see, It makes us look, very bundled up because, well, you're trying to stay warm, and this will warm you up very quickly. And since I'm in a plains biome, I don't really want to be wearing this that much. So you should have this out or be wearing this, when you're moving to any type of cold biome or area. Next things we have are campfire and heating coil. Now to make campfire, all you need 4 logs of any color and 3 cobblestone. So we can take this and we can take some sticks. Then we have the heating coil, and this is 6 blaze rods and 3 cobblestone. So we can take this too. Now, of course, it was just updated, so there are a few bugs here and there, and one of them is the campfire. Now, it won't show a flame anymore, but it did before, just because, I've used this mod before and it's wonderful. But the amount of sticks it takes to start up a campfire is completely random. It could be half a stack to 5, it's completely random. But we right click, and you can see actually it only took, 3 right there. So it will take a few sticks here and there, could take a lot. But as I said, there's no flame, you can't really see any flame, but if I walk onto it, you can see that I catch fire. So fire's there, it's just bugged out and I need to change it a little bit. Also, here's a good time to notice that my body temperature meter is very orange. That's why I'm probably going to take a little dip in this water, and as you'll see in just a second, it's going to have a down arrow because water cools you off extremely quickly. And there we go, I just waited about 30 seconds in this pool of water and it already doesn't even have an orange tint anymore. So water is very effective at cooling you off. So we're going to move on to heating coil. If you place it down, as you can see, it's just kind of dull and bland. It doesn't have any color. That's because it needs to be activated. When you turn it on, it won't really do anything when it's outside. You see I'm standing next to it and I'll still have the down arrow occasionally. Now that's because it doesn't work when you're just out in the open world. It works when you're indoors. If you place this anywhere in your house, even inside a wall, and there's just one space to get into the room, it'll heat that room up entirely and any other room that's connected to it. But as soon as you walk out the door, it won't heat up anymore because there's no ceiling above it. That's basically how it works. So it's good for just keeping your house warm if you're in a cold biome. And then there'll also be another coil, the cooling coil, that I'll get to in just a second. That also looks very cool. That does the exact opposite. So our last 2 items we have are the potion of heat resistance and just the extended version. Now to make the heat resistance, all you need is awkward potion with a fire charge, and it'll get you that, and it'll last for a minute. So it's great for going through the nether very quickly. If you want it a little bit longer, then it's the usual, where you put just some redstone in there and it'll give you 3 potions of heat resistance. So it's very handy for going through the nether, because just as water cools you down very quickly, lava will heat you up very quickly as well. And now, since we're done with the things to stay warm, let's move to the things that will keep us cool. So we have a new type of armor called the gelled slime chestplate. Now to make this, all you need is gelled slime. And to make this, all you need is a slime ball surrounded by ice cubes. Now ice cubes you'll randomly get when breaking a piece of ice. So you have to go to a cold biome in order to get a few things that'll make you resistant to cold. So once you get that, you'll get this nice set of armor that will cool you down and will also have an increased effect when you're in water. So you can go ahead and put this on. As you can see, it just kind of looks like emerald armor basically, but it will help cool you down, so you should have this on standby as well. And since I'm in the plains, I'm going to keep it on because the plains are quite hot in the middle of the day. Now we're going to move on to a few new items and even a mob. The mob is a freeze. Now it's basically a blaze, and I'm actually going to go into game mode for this because I don't want it really attacking. I'm going to go ahead and summon this, yeah. So you can see it's basically just a blaze, but it's called a freeze because, and now we can get him out of here because I don't really want him wandering around. The reason why it's called a freeze is because he will drop freeze rods, and this is what you need to make freeze powder and a cooling coil. So instead of the blaze rods, you just need freeze rods and you'll get this cooling coil. So you can go ahead and take this. But with the freeze powder, you can make ice charges. Now this, as I'm about to show, is how you're going to make the potions of cold resistance. So we have our ice cube, so we have these other few items that are added. So these potions of cold resistance, instead of putting it a fire charge like they usually do, you'll then just put in an ice charge. Now you can't shoot this out of the dispenser at all. This is its only purpose. So that's a little sad. And then the same thing is you just put redstone in to make it last for another minute longer. So both those will make you completely immune to whatever of that type of temperature. So if we take this cooling coil over here and place it down, as you can see, since it's activated, it will immediately turn on. So they both have pretty nice designs. As you can see, this has a nice little particle effect that comes out, and this works the exact same way as the heating coil. It'll heat up anything or any space that has a ceiling over it. So it doesn't work out here, and it doesn't even work, if you're standing by it. So it's just for a indoor use. Next item we have is a thermometer. Now it works the same way as the clock, where if you hold it in your hand, it will show you the temperature range of the place where you're in. So as you can see, the planes are pretty even, pretty average. Now even though it's even of hot and cold, it will still warm you up occasionally because of other factors that go on, like take the sun being the highest point. That means that's the hottest part of the day, and as you can see on the thermometer, it just moved over a little bit. That's because the sun is heating up the land right now. So there are a bunch of factors to what heat you up and what cool you down. So this will let you know just your environmental factors that affect you. Now moving on to the last few items of this mod, we have the lifeblood crystal, the ice charge, and the glowstone torch. Now to make the ice charge, all you need is a gunpowder, a freezing powder, and an ice cube. Now to make a freezing powder, it's the same way you'd make a blaze powder, just put a freeze rod in and you'll get 2 freeze powder. Now to make a glowstone torches aren't completely implemented into the mod yet. As I said, it's going under a bunch of updates right now, but it'll basically make a torch that never dies out, because another feature that they're thinking about adding to this mod is that you have to replenish or reignite torches and they won't just last forever. But this is a method that you could get around that, so it is going to be pretty useful in the future. So our last item we have is the lifeblood crystal. Now you might be wondering, what does this do? But first, it's not craftable. The only way you can get it is through dungeon chests or, just looting. But if I go to survival mode here, you'll see that half of my hearts are gone. That is probably the biggest thing that this game adds, is that it limits your health. Now this is just normal mode, so it's what it will spawn you in as, and it gets rid of half your health. Now if you're on easy, it'll give you 3 more hearts, and if you're on hard, you'll only have 3 hearts to play the game with. So it really increases how weak you are, basically. So a lifeblood crystal, if we just right click, will give us that extra heart. So if you find 5 of these, if you're playing on normal mode, you will then have full health again. So in the beginning, you can't just go jumping off mountains and all that stuff, because well, you have a much smaller amount of health right now. So one final thing I wanted to mention was, if I grab my thermometer, you'll notice that since the sun is going down, see how this place is getting colder? Well, since it's turning night. Another thing you'll notice is how blue, and now it's a snowflake, my body indicator was. Now, not only is it going down because it's getting colder outside, but also because I'm still wearing this gelled slime armor. If we take this off, you'll notice that almost immediately it will then go back up, because it will keep cooling you down until you're very cold. So don't make a mistake of forgetting to take this off and you're wondering why am I not being heated up or anything. It's because your armor. So just make sure you don't forget that, because you could die before, like I have, just because of you forgot something. But besides for that, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, leave a like down below. I personally really like this mod just because it makes it more realistic, makes it harder to survive, so it's just a nice little addition to your Minecraft survival. But besides for that, comment down any other type of mod you'd like me to review, and I'll see you in the next video. High five.